Hey HCG family, it's just me, Miss HCG Girl, and I'm coming to you with a recipe that I've been making for my family the past couple of months. And instead of chocolate delight, I've added in a few nut butters, and I call it MsHcGGirl's Chocolate Nutty Delight. And I've done several variations, and today I'm vlogging the newest variation. It's about 90 calories for a tablespoon of this, and about 1 net carb. It's Atkins friendly, low carb, sugar free, and this is what I want you to go and do. First thing I want you to do is I want you to get a pot, and if you don't have a double boiler pot, go ahead and put you some water, and you don't have to fill it very much, probably about a third with water, and get you some kind of glass bowl to sit in the pot. We're going to make a double boiler here because we really don't want to cook this in the microwave. We want to cook it on top of the stove. And the next thing I need you to do is go ahead and get you some coconut oil. Now I use Swanson's organic extra virgin coconut oil, and we're going to use today 1.25 cups of coconut oil. This recipe serves 48 people. Now, of course, you can eat more than one serving at a time, which I do regularly, I can promise you that. And anyway, I'm going to get the goodness out of here, and we're going to get it in our double boiler. And we want to get this coconut oil starting to melt on top of the stove. And the next thing I want you to do is I want you to get some Smuckers Natural Creamy Peanut Butter, or if you can get some store-bought peanut butter that only has salt and no sugar added, use that. I'm using this kind today. You can use the kind you find. Get 1/2 cup of the peanut butter, put it in there, okay? We want all this very softened, all right? And as you all know, peanut butter is pretty sticky, and I bet if several of my friends were here right now, they would want to lick this, right? Now, the next thing I need you to get is some almond butter. Or, if you don't have almond butter, you can use coconut butter. Now, tonight, by accident, I didn't have almond butter. This is the kind of almond butter I normally buy. Kettle almond butter. It's just got salt in it, no sugar added. I ran out. This is something secretive for later that I'm making for you guys. But what I did was I took some whole almond. I took 2 cups and I put it in my Vitamixer, and I made some almond butter. So I have my own homemade almond butter here, and this is, I want 1/2 cup. The other one was 1/2 cup as well. So go ahead and put that in there, okay? There's no sugar yet. Now, the next thing I want you to do is I want you to get truvia, and I want you to powder it. Now, in my recipe, I call for 2 cups of powdered truvia. You can use 2 cups of any other kind of sweetener that's sugar-free, or you can actually just adjust the sweetness as you're going along. So what I've done is I've already powdered mine in the past, and I put it in a container here, so we're going to add it. I'm going to go ahead and add that now. And I'm going to this is a whole cup that's in this thing. And go ahead and add it to the coconut oil that's getting pretty hot, and we're going to whisk it away. And you need a whisk to possibly mix these things together really good. The next thing I want you to do is I want you to get some cocoa. Now, I'm using Hershey's cocoa. There's different brands of cocoa. I take the regular unsweetened. I took 6 tablespoons of the unsweet and 2 tablespoons of the dark. So that's 8 tablespoons, which equals 1/2 cup of cocoa. So, as you can see, the dark and the light in here is what we're dealing with. Go ahead and put that on the side. It'll be the last thing that we add in, because we have to add some flavoring in, and we need to make sure it's sweet enough. We're going to taste it here in a minute. And as you can see, I don't know if the cameraman can get this or not, it's very, 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 very nutty looking. Of course, mine, the consistency is because I just ground the almonds, so that could be possibly why it's so chunky looking. But we want it very melted and liquidy. In the meantime, while this is doing, go ahead and get you a couple of very clean baking sheets. And if you only have one, just use one. Go ahead and spray it with a little bit of Pam or cooking oil, and you know, sometimes I have coconut oil spray, sometimes I don't. Okay, so the next thing we're going to add in our liquefied stuff is we're going to add 2 tablespoons of heavy whipping cream. If you don't have heavy whipping cream, go ahead and use like almond milk or regular milk. It's going to give it a very creamy consistency though. 1, 2. Okay, we're going to put that in. And then we're going to put 1 tablespoon of vanilla and 1 tablespoon of almond extract, okay? The almond extract with the nuts is going to sort of make it taste like an almond joy when you have the chocolate in here. And if you're on P2 right now, I'm very sorry that you have to listen to this, but save my recipe for later and try it, okay? Anyway, so go ahead and whisk this away. The water is still boiling at the bottom, so it's melting this mixture very good, okay? And the last thing we're going to add is the cocoa. I want to make sure I didn't forget anything on the recipe. And, nope, nothing. The other thing is also, I want to show you this. I have a whole slew of these type of molds. And you can get these at Dollar Tree for $1, or you can go to Hobby Lobby, you can go to Walmart. They have their ice cube trays. You can use this, but I found when making the nut candy, it was easy, very easy to go ahead and put this in a pan and stick it in my freezer and then break it into small pieces and put it in Ziploc bags. And that's basically how we eat it. And, anyway, let me taste it and see. It's very good. And now I'm going to add the cocoa. The last thing I add is the cocoa. And so it makes it very thick, as you can tell here. And look at how shiny it is. That's the coconut oil that gives it that shine. I have tried this on my children that are not doing low carb, and they don't like it. It doesn't matter how many times I've tried it on them. They just don't like sugar-free items. But I'll tell you this, it has done my body really well. I mean, to be on this kind of food and eat this kind of healthy way. Anyway, so this is going to be very hot when we take it off the stove here in a minute. And I'm going to be very careful when I pour it into the pan, and we're going to leave it in the freezer. It doesn't even take, not even 20 minutes. It'll be hardened, hard as rock. So just minimum of 20 minutes is about what it takes before you break it off the tray. I've made this several times. I even made it when Charm and her husband came here, and they loved it and ate it. And I take it with me sometimes when we go on hikes. I just put it in an ice pack in my pack, and I love it. All right, I think that's about it. It doesn't take very long to mix this, okay? Now there's going to be pieces in this. I want to make sure it's sweet enough. And I think it's sweet enough. So now I'm going to take this off the stove. Turn it off. We're going to take it off, and you're going to have to be really careful because this bowl is going to be very hot, okay? And we're going to move it to over here. And now I'm going to pour it. Ah! I just dropped stuff. Oh. Alright. So now we're going to pour this. And you can have 2 trays if you'd like, okay? You can separate it into 2. It'll just make the mixture very thin, like candy. And so what we're going to do is we're going to spread it like this. I personally like it thin. When I grab a piece, it takes the edge off of wanting something sweet and chocolatey. And of course, this has nuts in it. If you're allergic to nuts, you can try something else instead of nuts. So we have a lot of mixture here, so we're going to make 2 pans, okay? And I just spray the pan so that it doesn't stick at all to the bottom. So we're going to pour the second one. Ah, it's getting on my towel. Okay, let's see here. We're going to get every bit of goodness out of this. Where's Charm when I need her? To scrape it out. Okay, I'll get it. And whatever's left, and this is something else I want to tell you. If you don't have a pan like this, and say you're a college student or something like that, we have even used styrofoam plates. We've used regular plates and just stuck it in the freezer, and it worked. Okay? And just break it when it comes out. And we're going to spread this around. Okay, now we're going to stick this in my freezer for 20 minutes, okay? So I'll stick the first one in here at the bottom. Hopefully the door will close. It did. Yay! You know when you have a lot of stuff in your freezer and the door doesn't close? Alright. Whoa! Second one. I knew that could happen. You have to shove it in there. Okay, so now we're going to set our timer on the clock, and I will check it in 20 minutes. And I will show you guys what that looks like. And all the rest of the mess here I'm going to clean up because I have another recipe for you. But I hope y'all are having a good night. Hey guys, I'm back. And guess what? I've just pulled my first tray out. It's 20 minutes in the freezer, and as you can see, it's still a little glossy in places. I just scored it just now. So what I want you to do, since I made 2 pans, and my pans are pretty oversized cookie sheets, what I did was I scored 5 lines. Excuse me. We're going to make 6 rows. And we're going to cut it 4 times the other way. So we're going to have 24 pieces each tray. And I can promise you this, they're not small pieces. Okay? So now we're going to score it this way. And I'm not doing it even. If you want to do it even, you can. But this is my sugar-free delight that I share with my family. And of course, we're going to have a piece here in front of you so that you can see. And should this not want to come out, you can score around the edges here. And of course, somebody is going to have to lick all the crumbs in here. She just doesn't live here anymore. Anyway, I'm going to get some kind of spatula to get it out. And we're going to let the cameraman have some. And look, see how it's breaking up? And you can use, if you want, if you would like, you could also use some parchment paper like I have right here that I'm getting ready to make cookies with. I'm going to give the first piece to the cameraman, and you can tell me how you like it. And I'm going to take a piece.
It's great.
That is really good. I will promise you this. It sort of tastes like fudge. It really doesn't taste like anything I've ever had before. It tastes like really like fudge. So as you can see, this is like a whole piece right here. Most of them fall apart, and I'm pretty used to what size that I eat when I eat some. to log into my Fitness Pal diary, and just get you some Ziploc bags like this after you do this, and put them in here, and like this one fell apart, right? And then I stick them in the refrigerator. You don't have to keep them in the freezer anymore, but you will have to keep it refrigerated because of the coconut oil in it. And of course mine's falling apart here. But some of the pieces are very thick. And I'm going to sample a lot tonight, so I could be up tomorrow. But I just wanted to share my chocolate nutty delight recipe with you, and I have some more ideas to swing past you of some things I've been trying on my family lately, and I will vlog those as promised. So I hope you'll try it, and please give me your honest critique and review. I love you guys. Peace with chocolate fingers out.